Hey, what's up, Elch2? This week we got in store adding, subtracting rational numbers, and we also have solving rational expressions or equations. So we're just going to work with and expand on the multiplying, dividing piece with fractions, where last week we did keep, change, flip, just multiplied straight across. We have to go back to how do I add fractions. So we need to have a common denominator. So the way we would do that is we would multiply that fraction, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we're just multiplying by a form of 1. In this side, we would multiply the top and bottom by 5. By multiplying by 1, you're not changing the value of the fraction. You're just changing, instead of out of thirds, it's going to be out of 15ths. It's the same amount. And that's going to be 21 over 15. Then we would add the tops. 10 plus 21 is 31 over 15. All right, so that works when... I guess this will always work if you want to do it that way. 3 and 5 do not have a factor in common other than 1, so it works out. Same thing here. One thing to look at is you can multiply this side by 9, this side by 6. However, you're not using the greatest common or the least common multiple. So we could say, hey, these each have a factor of 3 in common. This is missing a factor of 2. And then this is missing a factor of 3. So then what we're doing is we're making it out of 18ths rather than making it out of 54, multiplying 9 and 6 together. So we have 8 18ths and subtracting 30 18ths. So once you have that common denominator, 8 minus 30 is 22. Negative 22 over 18. Divide 2 out of each of those, and you get negative 11 over 9. All right, so that's what we're looking for here. And as we go through now, we're going to use rational expressions. So we're going to have weird-looking fractions. So again, we're going to change subtraction to addition, distribute the negative, right? So we're going to take care of all subtraction stuff right away. We're going to factor out stuff. We're going to multiply. We're going to find out our denominators, because they're not going to be nice like 3 and 5. It's going to be x plus 2 and x minus 3, stuff like that. We're going to find out the numbers of the factors, the special one to multiply by. Going to multiply, distribute, combine like terms, look to simplify, and factor at the end again. Okay. So same thing when you're adding fractions that didn't look weird like this. If they had a common denominator, which they do, that bad boy stays the same. That doesn't change. So 3x squared stays on the bottom. 5x and 2x is 7x. And then we have 1x on top, 2 on the bottom. So that's going to reduce down to 7 over 3x. All right, so if denominators are the same, we're good to go. Domain restrictions, right? What can't the bottom number be again? All right, so when we're talking about those domain restrictions, x can't be equal to 0, because that's what x can't be. If that was 0, we would be dividing by 0. That's not good, okay? Same thing here. We're going to subtract now, so we're going to change it to adding and then distribute the negative. So everything's over x minus 4. We have 9x plus negative 4x, and then distribute to that 12, and we get minus 12. And then that's going to reduce down to 5x minus 12 over x minus 4. Then we would look to simplify. Can you factor out GCF of 5 and 12? And the answer is no, so this is going to stay our answer. Again, you might see parentheses going around, stuff that I do. Again, making sure when we're reducing down and simplifying from last week, it's all or nothing. So I can't just cross out a 4 and say, oh, that's 1 and that's 3. Okay, it's either all of the factor that we have or none of the factor. So 5x minus 12 is the factor. It's all of it or none of it. Okay, how is this going to look now if we don't have common denominators? So the one thing you want to do is make sure you factor the bottom, because we're going to find out what factors are missing and then use that. So x squared minus 4 is a difference of squares, so that factors into x plus 2x minus 2, right? So as we're looking here, they already have some things in common. So you find out what they have in common, we're going to leave that, and then we're going to say, oh, this side right here on the left is missing an x plus 2. So we're going to multiply both sides by x plus 2. Now you could see that this denominator is the exact same as that denominator. So you multiply by the special one, that's the special one factor, and now we're going to distribute and do the math. So we got x squared plus 2x minus 8, x plus 2, x minus 2. Go with x, the domain restrictions, x can't be 2 or negative 2. And then we look to factor. Factors of negative 8 that add up to get positive 2 would be positive 4 and negative 2. X plus 2, x minus 2. And then we simplify that down. So it's kind of taking what we did early last week, mixing it with adding and subtracting fractions. X can't be 2, x can't be negative 2 from the beginning, okay? Same thing, factor out the bottom. We're going to change this from a minus to a plus, and then we're just going to make that negative 2x, okay? So this is x minus 1 and x plus 4. Whoops. X plus 4. This side is just x plus 4. So what we are missing is the x minus 1. So we're going to multiply that side by x minus 1. Do our math. So we have x minus 3 plus negative 2x squared plus 2x. Now this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the math, and then I know my denominator of my fraction is that. So I'm just going to simplify and then put everything down. So we got negative 2x squared, combine 2x and 1x to get plus 3x, and then minus 3. So my final answer, before I look to simplify, is going to be x plus 4, x minus 1. Okay? And then we would try to look to factor these two factors of positive 6 that add up to positive 3. That's not going to happen because we either have 6 and 1 or 2 and 3. Either of those can't be factored, so this guy is good to go. Final answer. What happens then if you can't factor? So here, 3x minus 1, that's 2x plus 5. They don't have anything in common whatsoever. Unlike, again, the factors are all or nothing. So these are the two factors. Well, this side's missing the 3x minus 1. And then this side is missing the 2x plus 5. So our denominator of our fraction is going to be that. Okay, our top then, we have to multiply this side by 2x plus 5, multiply this side by 3x minus 1. Right, so if they don't have a GCF, and it's already good to go, and either they don't have common factors on either side, then it's just take the 3x minus 1 to the right, take the 2x plus 5, multiply it on the left, then we just have to distribute. So distribute that in, that's going to be 12x squared plus 30x, and then make that plus, and then distribute the negative, plus negative 12x squared plus 4x. Again, I know that this is going to be the denominator. I'm not going to write that till the end. Combine my like terms, 12 and negative 12 cancel out to get 0. Positive 30x and positive 4x make 34x over 2x plus 5, and then 3x minus 1. Same thing, they don't have anything in common, so this side's going to get multiplied by x plus 3. This side's going to get multiplied by 2x minus 5. And then this is where we're going to have a little bit of work to do, right? So we got x, distribute the x into both, again, because we're following x squared plus 12x plus 3x plus 36. All right, that's distributing the 3 into both. Now we're going to multiply the 3x into both and get 6x squared minus 15x. And then distribute the negative 2 in there. You're going to get minus 4x plus 10. Not 110. And now combine all the like terms, 7x and 6x squared is 7x squared. 12 and 3 is 15x. Minus 15x over here is 0. And then minus 4 is negative 4x. Boom, 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 boom. 36 and 10 makes 46. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I'm not going to be able to factor the top. 46 is an odd number. We're good to go. So that's what we got. Why don't you go ahead, try these two out. Make sure you factor. And then go from there. Pause the video, try them out, and then I will go through and give you the answers now. Okay, so we want to factor this. Factors of negative 12 that add up to get negative 1 are negative 4 and positive 3. So I'm going to take and multiply this side by x plus 3 because that's the factor that it's missing. So we got x plus 4 on the top plus, distribute the 2, 2x squared plus 6x. Again, I know that this is going to be my denominator, so to save room, I'm going to combine all the stuff together, put it in the proper order. 2x squared plus 7x plus 4 over x minus 4, x plus 3. And then we're going to try a little voodoo method. Factors of positive 8 that add up to get 7. Unfortunately, 8 and 1 would look like it would work. However, they either both have to be positive or both have to be negative. So it is what it is. That's not factorable. We're good to go. All right, jump down to the second one. That's factors of negative 18 that add to get 3 are positive 3 and negative 6. So we are going to take and multiply this side by x plus 3. Again, this is our special multiply by 1 is all we're doing. And we got 3x squared minus 1. Oh shoot, we forgot to add and then make that negative x squared and negative 2. All right, so negative times a negative, or negative x times positive x is negative x squared minus 3x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x minus 6. Again, if you're wondering why those turn negative, because we had a subtraction sign. So we got to add it and then distribute the negative. Combine our like terms. 3x squared minus x squared is 2x squared. Negative 3 and negative 2 makes negative 5x. And then negative 1 and negative 6 makes negative 7. All right, if we were going to try to look to do the quick factor, we would look for factors of negative 14 that add to get negative 5. We get negative 7 and positive 2. Looks like that's going to work out. So then the factors on the top would be x minus 7, x plus 2. Again, divide each of those by the 2 that was out front. So my two factors on the top are going to be 2x minus 7. 2 divided by 2 is 1, x plus 1. However, they don't match up with any of the factors on the top. So if we're talking domain restrictions, what can't x be in this case? X can't be 6 and x can't be negative 3. X on this one can't be 4, or x can't be equal to negative 3. The reason why is if you plugged in a 4 in for x, 4 minus 4 is 0, times 7 is 0, makes us divide by 0. We don't like that, okay? So again, you get to practice your factoring along with adding and subtracting fractions. When you get done with that, there is a couple problems for practice, and I have an answer key for you just to find out the common denominators. You won't have to factor a whole lot, which is a good thing. Have a good night.